Classic movie and TV fans, Rick 9G here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm here to share with you some unfortunate news about Hogan's Heroes, one of the cast members, the main heroes, we can say, of the show. Before we get into that, I do want to let you all know that if you're watching this on the day it came out, the news broke yesterday, but I'm filming it on the day that it actually took place. So anyway, as I mentioned, this is hard because it's the end of an era. It's the end of an era of one of my favorite shows ever, Hogan's Heroes. And I discovered it a few years ago. I didn't watch it since I was a little boy. But I mean, the staple of watching all of these characters, right? Hogan and LeBeau, Carter, Kinchlow, right? Hochstetter. It's the end of an era because unfortunately all of them are gone. And today marks the day where, yes, they're all gone. And with the passing of Robert Clary. Now, if you are a fan of the show, you will know that Robert Clary was the last surviving member of Hogan's Heroes. Not of anyone that ever appeared on Hogan's Heroes, because we still have Nina Talbot as of this video. And even Kenneth Washington, who replaced Ivan Dixon, Kinchlow, on the show. He's still alive, but he's not one of the original cast members. Robert Clary was. He was there from day one, appearing in over 168 episodes of Hogan's Heroes. Unfortunately, he has passed away at the age of 96 years old. I mean, leading a very long life, a very beloved life. We absolutely loved him. I believe he married one of the daughters of Eddie Cantor. And so he was born in 1926, passed away this year, 2022, November 16th, 1922. He was born in France, believe it or not. And yeah, that accent of his was pretty legitimate. It was pretty real that you heard on the show. But he went through a difficulty. I mean, as a child, he was interred in a concentration camp during World War II, which is pretty mind-blowing. He had the numbers tattooed on his arm and everything, and I mean, that's pretty striking in itself. I do want to make the distinction that Hogan's Heroes is not a show about concentration camps. It's a show about POW, that is prisoner of war camps, where soldiers that were captured were put in camps, and for the most part they were treated under the Geneva Convention as opposed to concentration camps. These are where the atrocities that we hear of took place, and they were not treated according to the Geneva Convention and treated, quote unquote, the way they were supposed to. This is what the genocide that we heard of during that time, and he was present in these camps, a man who was still alive and saw that firsthand. Now, after World War II, he became sort of a singing star in France, and in 1949 he came to the US to promote his career. He appeared in things like The Edwin Show, and he learned English, performed in the French language, comedy skit routines. He did a lot of stuff, and he's most famously known for appearing in Hogan's Heroes. He was known lovingly, we have to say lovingly, because all the cast members loved each other. You know, John Banner playing Schultz called him the cockroach, right? The little cockroach. And I mean, Robert Clary was so unique. There was an episode where Carter played Schicklgruber himself, right? The old big number one of Germany during World War One. And it was a fantastic portrayal. And because this show did mock, right, the Germans at this time, right, they do like a Hail Schicklgruber thing, and they all salute in mock form. They all did it. They were acting, right? They're playing a part. But Robert Clary refused to do this. He refused to do the salute. He's the only one in the episode who does that. And I think that's really mind-blowing. The fact that he stood his ground. No matter what the director, the producer, or any of the other actors said, he was not going to do the salute, even if it was in a mockery, because of his personal experience. I mean, he was the beloved Louis LeBeau, here and there romantic with the girls and the women. Here and there he was the cook. I mean, he was the cook who did some really wonderful and tasty things for the heroes, trying to cook for the Germans, tricking them, putting things in their food, and trying to kind of coerce them by tricking them into enjoying the food and then them getting their own way. So he was an integral part of the heroes. People loved him, absolutely loved him. He was really good friends in real life with Leon Askin, who played General Burkhalter. There's so much to talk about him, but this video just highlighting the things that we love about him. In the comments below, feel free to leave your condolences. Leave me your best story or your best memory of him on Hogan's Heroes. Did any of you meet him, or any of you maybe related to him? I always love to see these comments. I highlight them, respond to as many as possible, and just honoring this man, Robert Clary, who unfortunately passed away at the time that I am recording this. Thank you so much. My condolences to his family, to all of you who are big fans. It's the end of an era, but I always look on it in a positive way, that we have his work and we can still laugh at all the wonderful and amazing moments he gave us on the show. Thank you, Robert Clary. And thanks to all of you who have supported the channel. I really do appreciate you always, no matter what. Remember to be hopeful. Thank you so much to everyone who supports my work on Patreon. David D, Sally N, Gerard D, Greg S, Ricky, Citizen Kane 359, Kevin K, and Vito L. If you want to appear on this list, don't forget to look at the Patreon description in the link below. Thank you.